Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
It's been a bumper week of games.
Yep.
One of many.
Bumper.
One of the weird Friday, Tuesday setups.
Yep.
Smoke-filled Mansfield on the Friday night.
Did we ever find out what that was about?
Someone was lying really badly and their pants had just gone puff. As they do. So watch out for that if you're thinking about fibbing, listeners.
Yeah, be careful.
Do be.
Not all old wives' tales are,
Yeah.
untrue.
It's true. The wind did change on me and my face has stayed like it. So that's why it's just a podcast.
What was it like before?
Oh, anyway, here we are to talk about. We're talking about the games in chronological order. So it's Mansfield Town, City away,
Friday night.
Promotion,
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, promotion. What's the word? Rivals, promotion rivals. Mansfield. Both of us good run of form. Both of us looking to push into the autos.
Yep.
Mansfield started very well, or City didn't start very well. Maybe both.
No, I think, maybe. I'm not even sure we didn't start that well. I just think they were 100 mile an hour in the first half.
They were. We were missing
Very
Giovanni
impressive.
Brown.
Yeah, no Giovanni.
No Nombe starting.
Nombe on the bench, Kieran Phillips in for him. Phillips and Coley up front. I was watching it on the iFollow, and it's so strange, isn't it? How you're sort of watching your team play, and you're just like looking and go like, these two up front. And you're like, I know Coley's been there for the season, but like Kieran Phillips just turned up. And you're like, who are these? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But no excuses. I don't think they're to blame.
No.
I think possibly the lack of Giovanni for that game, might not have helped us. But I think they were very good.
So we were
Nigel Clough.
Cluffy.
Helm.
Old Big Ed's
No
son.
one calls him Cluffy. Do they?
I don't know. I don't know everyone he knows.
You don't know everyone he knows. No, that's right.
So they might all call him Cluffy for I know.
Yeah. Well, one of them might.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Anyway. So he's at the helm. They're on a very good run, aren't they?
And you can see why they were good.
Yeah, you can see why. They got about 80% of their squad used to play in the Premier League, I think.
Well, the Longstaff's the funny one, isn't he? Literally comes straight from Premier League to Mansfield.
No, but is he not at Sheffield Wednesday?
Is he?
I think he played. I thought they mentioned something about him playing for Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh right. Oh okay.
So I think maybe he's, because I remember there being a big kind of like hoo-ha about Newcastle not giving them both a contract. Those two ginger boys.
It's Sean, isn't it?
The brothers.
Or is it Matt?
I don't know.
I don't know either. No, it's Matt.
Johnny.
Who's at Mansfield. Matty Longstaff.
Right.
So you're right. Oh, he's on loan. So Newcastle still own him.
So nothing to do with Sheffield Wednesday then?
Not that I can see.
Okay.
He was at Aberdeen last year, and now first half of this season, and now he's come to Mansfield, and he looked a cut above.
He did look good.
I mean, you don't often get a Premier League starter dropping down to League Two.
Is he a Premier League starter?
He certainly played a bit, and he certainly played under Bruce. Anyway,
Played a couple of games. Anyway, he's quite good, and so are the rest of their players. They've got Perch as well, and James Perch. Obviously, that's not exactly, a big kind of name exactly, but he has played in the Premier League. But then again, we've got Jonathan Grounds. So
yeah.
I know who I'd rather have.
So they went ahead about just after half an hour in. It was that player. I can't really say his name. Is it Ferrand Rawson? Do you remember he was linked with us?
Oh, was he?
Pre-George Ray.
Right.
In the summer. It looked like he might be the one we get.
Okay.
Or maybe it was pre-Grounds. Anyway, he stayed at Mansfield. Or went to Mansfield from Forest Green or something. And he got the opener.
Yes.
10 minutes before half-time. And actually, beginning of the second half, we were much better.
Yeah, we were. A lot more even in the second half. I thought we made a decent account of ourselves. I think the damage had been done probably in the first half. And then just as we were getting back into the game, I mean, Dawson really, they didn't have a huge amount of efforts, Mansfield, for all their kind of like attacking kind of intent and kind of domination of the midfield. And then as we were looking like, start the second half well, and then they just scored again.
And that was that.
And that kind of was that then. As you know, against that side. I mean, the pitch as well was like an absolute...
Do you think that was on
state.
purpose? Because it was so madly wet on the wings.
Yeah. I mean, it might be a bit of both. It's already a bit cut up, and then they go like, well, these lot are like wing back
Yeah. That's what it felt like to
lads,
me.
and they just chuck a load of water all over it. But the ball literally wasn't rolling.
No, it wasn't. Looked like it would definitely be out for a throw-in, stop 2 yards from the line, wasn't it? That kind of thing.
Yeah, but we have to be able to deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not unique to League Two teams. I mean, our ground was like that until this year.
True.
So,
and we had lots of chances.
We did have a decent amount of chances in the second half. Yeah, for sure. Great to see Aussie Zanzala back.
Zanzala.
Quick return.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Sort of thought maybe we might sort of never see him again in a City shirt.
8 weeks and he's back.
But he's back in there, and he had such a good chance to score. He just couldn't. It came at him quickly. I think if I'm defending it, and he just couldn't get his leg on the end of it.
Yeah, because if we got that was like 10 minutes to go, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would at least made given us a chance. As it was, Matt J scored with about 2 minutes of added time left or something, didn't he?
Well, it was 90 plus 5 that he scored. So
there you go. Put about 30 seconds to go.
But good for Jay to get back on the score sheet.
Absolutely, yeah. Good to see that. And then, and we'll come on to it, but he's definitely built on that. So,
that was disappointing, wasn't it? And it's got very close in the league. So at that point, they overtook us.
It was madness. We dropped down to 8th, by the Saturday after tea time.
Yeah, so then the results...
All of them,
I think, pretty much went not our way, the opposite of our way.
So it was kind of like the worst case scenario, I think, pretty much. Or might as well. That was as low as we could have got. And we slipped down to 8th place. It is so tight, not even just the top 8. I think it goes a bit further down than that, really. But
the only thing that was of interest to me, if I'm honest, is Forest Green dropped points again. 1-1 against Salford this time.
Yeah,
so
and they were behind for a lot of that game too.
It's condensing, isn't it? Like, it's not just... They were so far out ahead. I mean, we wrote them off.
Yeah.
We wrote off anyone else getting the top spot, 2 months ago? More?
I know, yeah.
Now it's almost anyone's.
It's weird, isn't it, how quickly it can change. We might finish mid-table at this rate, or we might win the league. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, both things are possible for almost anyone.
Yeah.
Forest Green, I don't think should drop out of the playoffs. But if they go into the playoffs, they'll be horrified at the thought of...
Yeah, to chuck that lead away, that's bad. Anyway, so it wasn't the best night. It's a good ground, isn't it, Mansfield? The one call stadium, whatever. Apart from maybe you can't see the bit that's not so good. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. I gave him a ring, actually, but I only no one answered because I only let it ring once.
It's not the One Ring stadium. It's
one call to rule them all. One call to rule them all. That's what they should say on the opening.
They should have that. If anyone from Mansfield Town's listening, probably are, I imagine. You can have that, can they? Just offering up your intellectual property.
I mean, just
free.
acknowledge me in your thesis or your album or whatever you're using it for.
Yeah, one call's all it takes.
Yeah,
that doesn't really work.
One call to rule them all.
Yeah.
That is top content right there, lads.
Lovely.
Thank
Nige,
you.
If you want it,
if you want it, Nige,
send your offers.
If you're anything like your dad,
add to cart.
Can you imagine how cross Brian Clough would be about modern football? Just envisage that for a second.
He'd hate it, yeah.
He wouldn't just hate it, he'd be apoplectic.
Yeah.
I can't even say that word, he'd be so cross.
Yes, he would.
Anyway, so that was disappointing, but we had one of our games in hand last night, Tuesday night, at St James Park.
So we had the extra night, we had the extra day's rest.
Yeah.
That Swindon didn't have, right, because they played Saturday.
Swindon played Saturday.
And then they had to come down, short drive, really.
Short trundle.
A lot of them came.
Yeah.
This, of course, rescheduled from Boxing Day.
Oxo.
Which was postponed COVID, I suppose, was it?
Yeah,
I think it would have been.
Yeah.
And so I guess, and there's a lot of people there, and I don't know if a lot of those people just still had their tickets left over from Boxing Day, because we haven't seen it that busy on a Tuesday night for a while, and not just because Swindon bought a lot, but I don't think there's any excuses for them. They were there for the city, as they were saying,
True fact.
Everyone wants to come and be entertained, and They were.
So 650 Swindon, just under 6,000 in total. So that's, well, you do the math, Dan. That's 5,300 Exeter City supporters.
Yeah, that sounds like Project 6000 to me.
It certainly does.
What's happened to that?
Gone quiet.
Yeah.
It's Project Get Promoted at the moment, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we saw a new signing last night, and I'm not talking about the new lad who signed for the academy yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about he's tall. He's pretty wide too.
Got a big face.
He's got a great big face. And his name is Jumbo Vision.
Jumbotron. Welcome.
It wasn't on, was it?
No, it certainly wasn't on.
So, but it's there, the big screen.
Yeah.
I'm
worried.
Watch this space.
I got to say, I'm concerned. What if it's too bright? What if I'm like a moth to the flame and I miss Giovanni Brown scoring an absolute screamer because
you can turn the brightness down on these things.
I've been looking at how long the pasty queue is.
Yeah, you got to lower your expectations about this live queue updates. It's not gonna.
I just don't see what the point is if it's not that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, so that was there, but not on. We'll more updates as we get them on.
There's a rumour that Saturday will be the big switch on.
Yeah, is there?
I certainly won't feel turned on.
Well, you don't know what's going to be on it yet.
It's very true. If it's the pasty queue numbers, I'll be right up for it. So
the dog in heat.
Yeah, I love a pasty. So that takes us to Swindon last night.
Yeah.
So they're also promotion hopefuls?
They are, yeah, sort of. Giovanni Brown back.
Yeah.
Straight back in there. Nombe starts again. Jack Sparks in.
For Caprice.
For Caprice, giving us the old left foot on the left, right foot on the right combination. We haven't seen a huge amount of this season.
It was the big JG at the back. Not James Gandolfini. No. Different kind of gangster.
Not JG Ballard.
Certainly not. With his sexy car crashes.
Nope.
None of that. It's, of course, Jonathan Grounds.
Yep.
Never crashed a car, never been aroused by a car crash. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure, but I think it's safe to assume.
We don't know.
He might well have.
I don't want to know, frankly.
No. Anyway, yeah, Jonathan Grounds stepped in since Diabate's injury at back at Bristol Rovers.
Yep.
And done a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, but let's take it from the beginning. City started in a kind of usual fashion, not the quickest start, perhaps.
Oh, can we say this first?
Yeah, go on.
Round of applause for Ivor Doble, of course.
Oh, yeah, we haven't mentioned that, have we?
No. Ivor, 94, I think.
Left this mortal coil.
Yeah, I mean, he's been involved with City for a very long time, hasn't he?
Yep.
So it was good to see a good round of applause for him and the steward that's died as well, Chris the steward.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it
Observed well by all the fans, including the Swindon ones, and that's
it
nice of them. You refused to kiss my gold ring in memoriam of the great man.
Yeah, I did.
Former owner.
I did refuse. That actually happened, listeners. I just don't think it was necessary. I thought a round of applause was fine.
Not all things that are necessary and necessarily bad.
Fine. But the ring remained unkissed. But City, I think they'd been kissing the old Blarney Stone because they came out of the blocks flying, didn't they?
Exeter?
Yeah.
No, we didn't at all.
Didn't we?
No, first 10 minutes we were nowhere near it.
Am I remembering it wrong?
I think you might be, yeah. We didn't get going until about 10 minutes in, and then we flew. We didn't really do much with it.
I'll take that.
First 10, a lot of kind of just like booting it up in the air.
There was a lot of booting it up in the air. You're absolutely right.
Headering it up in the air.
Yeah, there was. And we were like, when you get it... This is the thing I don't understand about City, and I think probably it's nerves, because, fine, sometimes the ball's in the air. You might even play a team who wants to play the ball in the air, but it should be your ambition to get the ball out of the air.
Well, under these circumstances, yeah, given the fact that we're not a big side, we're good technical players, and given the fact that we've got the best pitch we've ever had, especially at this stage in the season. Normally, by now, March, that pitch is like, Mansfield sort of standard.
I know, it's amazing. They've done such a good job on
it. And Matt Taylor, obviously, he talked about this in his post-match interview, how he's kind of gone on about getting a new pitch for ages, and now he's got it, and it's great, and it's well looked after, and fair play for them shelling out.
Yes.
But when we did manage to get it down,
Suddenly we're off. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember now.
and the first goal didn't take too long to come, did it? About 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Exeter take the lead through
Brown.
Giovanni Brown
Yeah.
with a kind of a similar goal to the one he scored at Bristol, where it's kind of on it's on for a left foot shot, his natural foot,
Yeah.
but he can't find the space for it, so he chops it over to his weaker foot supposedly, and then slammed it in.
Yeah. So Matt Taylor's claiming a deflection.
Matt Taylor says he thinks it might be a bit of deflection or something. Didn't look like it to me from the big bank, and it's hard to say from the replay. I mean, if it was, I'm pretty sure it's quite incidental. It wasn't like one that completely sent the keeper the wrong way.
No, I don't think so either.
But a lovely goal, and like great way to start, and just be like, oh, this is nice, comfortable, 1-0 up after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Celebrated in front of the Swindon fans.
he did,
Gave them
yeah,
an absolute, rage. Sent some of them absolutely ballistic.
yeah, that was good. Good bit of banter, isn't it?
As they say.
Anyway, it didn't take us too long to find a second goal.
No, so Browns was on 17 minutes, and then on 26 minutes,
Yep.
Archie Collins' corner.
Yeah. We've had some good corners.
Yeah, much better.
After that, we had a few where we probably should have scored again. We were putting in really good positions. Collins, I think, on most of them. Perhaps with Jack Sparks one in there too. But it falls to Jonathan Grounds. I don't know how it gets all the way through to him, really.
Keeper wasn't coming, was he?
Keeper was tiny,
Yeah.
so he wasn't coming for them. And then Jonathan Grounds sticks it into the back post, and he really gives it to the Swindon
Used to
fans.
play for, did a year for them, didn't he?
I think he was there before he came
Yeah,
to
I think
us,
that's right. Yeah,
So he gives them,
yes, plenty.
and then he gives them the shush,
Yes,
and absolutely love it.
he was loving it.
And a good reward for a guy who's been playing really well and just been called upon. I know, like, this podcast basically turned into just going on about how good Jonathan Grounds is, and if you're not all right with that, then you don't have to listen to it.
I mean, we're so well catered for in terms of centre backs. Like,
Oh no, flipping heck. Well, we'll get on to that because Grounds had to go off injured, but
was he injured? Do we know that?
I don't know. I think maybe
Okay.
a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too bad because it'll be a miss,
Yeah. So that was
And
2-0 half-time.
when he arrived as a signing in the summer, we kind of think, oh, you're getting this kind of journeyman, kind of veteran guy, probably past his best. But you think good backup. I mean, he's a superb backup.
Well, he had a terrible first game, didn't he? That didn't help his cause.
but
Sent off and all that.
but so did a lot of people. I think,
Sure, but yeah, I think it's worked out so well. So half-time, 2-0 up. Rare.
Yeah, the defence keeping any kind of Swindon threat completely nullified. Really, they had the ball, Swindon. They were trying to attack, and they were a good side. They were missing a few players, weren't they? Which is like worth a mention. I mean, was it a striker that was suspended?
McCurdle suspended,
or
and
whatever
a few with injury or illness or whatever.
Yeah.
But they got that player Johnny Williams, who's obviously of a very high standard in theory, Welsh international.
Yeah, he looked good, and he could tell that
he did look good, but I think we dealt with him really well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And Sam Stubbs. I mean, what can you say? Superb, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's an absolute colossal.
So worth the 10 months he didn't play.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those ones, it kind of like a bit of a kind of Lee Holmes story, I suppose, in a way, isn't it? You sign someone, probably it's going to be a while before you can get him to play, but the price for that is, if you can make it work, is a really good player. And he is, isn't he?
So we got him on a 2-year contract, right? Stubbs, I believe.
Right.
So that started last January. So we want to be trying to fix him down.
I'd say so. But that might depend on promotion because, if anyone's looking at him, you think he could play a higher level than this, probably.
Yeah.
Based on what we've seen of him, and it's obviously a bit of a risk because he has had that big injury, and it's you never know with these things. But yeah, brilliant. Sweeney again, great.
Yeah. So we get to half time. Grounds goes off.
Yeah, Grounds goes off at half time. Yeah, 2-0 up. It's looking quite straightforward at this point, isn't it?
And then I was sure it was Kyle Taylor warming up with his lovely ponytail. Not so. Alex Hartridge steps up.
Hartridge back.
Back. And not just back, absolutely like he'd never been away.
It literally didn't look like he'd missed a minute.
No.
You know, it was just like, it's as if that time in between never happened. It's just exactly the same.
And what he's got that none of those other, as good as the other Sweeney, Diabate, Ground, or maybe Ground's a bit, but Stubbs, Diabate and Sweeney haven't got, is Hartridge loves running forward, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like to see that. He likes carrying the ball out, doesn't he? And,
Yeah.
I really like it. So he had gone for the full bun, hair bun, and hair band. And you were saying it reminded you of your wife when she's doing her makeup.
Well, you know, she
Yeah.
keeps her hair out of the way
Yeah.
with a ponytail, and then got this.
You want to get the real... Hartridge just doesn't want any hair in his face.
I mean,
But he does want to have hair. So shaving it's not an option.
no, apparently not.
It's just got to be, I want as much hair as possible, but get it out of my face, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want a single strand blurring my, obstructing my vision
Sure.
or tickling his nose.
I mean, I don't know. I
I also thought he looked a bit like a kind of ballet dancer with that hair.
He did.
Like,
He plays like one,
yeah, I
doesn't
think
he?
he'd look good in a leotard.
Certainly. Maybe that's next year's accessories. You know, this year hairbands, next year's leotard.
Yeah.
Because they all wear these weird crop tops, don't they, that like measure their
Yeah.
distance running.
They do, yeah.
Go full leotard, lads.
Yeah, what could it do, the leotard? It'd have to have a purpose, wouldn't it,
Warmth.
Warmth, yeah.
Style.
Warmth and style, sure. Maybe it could have some sort of like electronic things built into it. I don't know, body temperature. Maybe it could kind of monitor that.
Maybe it could tell you when you score, like sat-nav style, direct you to the nearest camera, because that seems to be their main concern.
Well, they know where that is now, don't they?
Really
You see him think like, I'm going to celebrate. And hang on, no, I've just remembered the camera's over there.
Camera's over there,
Yeah.
off I go. I feel sorry for the Stansfield stand, because no one ever celebrates in front of them.
Well, they've only got themselves to blame, haven't they? Sat there doing a crossword, half of them.
And then, so second half, ouch, doing Wordle.
Doing a wordle instead of watching a worldie
Good.
from Giovanni Brown.
Nice. So second half, we just really kind of shut up shop, didn't we? And we just did it so calmly, I thought.
Yeah.
They had one chance. I think the guy that later scored kind of got through on goal and then absolutely blazed it over.
Yeah.
Sent it over the roof of the away end. Apart from that, they had very little.
Yeah, I remember. It was at one point. What's his name? Williams.
Yeah.
His touch. It's amazing turn, great touch. Love a bit of interplay, and then he just blasted it out into St James's Road as well.
And Swindon were obviously not particularly optimistic for the rest of the match. But when we got the third,
Yeah. What minute's that?
that's 81.
It's all just such comfortable times, weren't they? The goals,
Beautiful goal. We could have had one or two before, couldn't we? There'd been some good chances,
Yeah.
both ends.
Nombe, before he went off for Kieran Phillips, looked like he really wanted to score and he wanted to get in on that action, didn't he?
Nombe's so good for running, isn't he? For just pressure on people.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I like about him as well is like anytime there's a kind of you got to hustle for a ball to get that ball, he always gets it. Do you know what I mean? And you're up against these like League Two defenders who a lot of the time are like pretty kind of strong, and like big blokes, and like he's always got the better of them, and he's just got that pace as well, and just like shutting them down. Swindon were really trying to play out from the back, which I mean don't think particularly served them well last night at all. But we were just closing down all over the place. Giovanni Brown, Nombe, and Jay just like so much pressure on their back line.
Yeah. Phillips came on 20 minutes to go, and he had a really good chance, didn't he? And he just took it too far wide, and then absolutely spooned it.
Yeah.
But then Jay's goal was a thing of wonder.
It really was. And it's a nice payoff that it was. I mean, there's other people involved, Key and stuff as well, but that Giovanni Brown, who's obviously just having such a good season, he's like twice as good as anybody thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
But also Matt Jay, who played the best I've seen him play for ages.
Yeah.
And he was so good. Obviously, he got that goal.
Yeah.
And then it's just like even though it's a consolation away at Mansfield, it's just obviously giving him a bit of,
I remember what I'm doing.
More motivation, just be like, I'm not saying it's some magic thing, but I just think it's it works to spur him on a bit more. So and then Yeah, he really deserved that because he played excellently, and so did Brown. And they, another game where, the one game Giovanni Brown misses, we lose, and then the minute he's back, goal and an assist.
Yeah. So
some player.
Jay's goal, I thought Josh Key's turn was excellent, and then Jay, I think, puts it through the defender's legs to score it. So excellent. So that's 3-0. Game's done. Absolutely done. Absolute exodus from the away end.
Yeah.
To everyone's enjoyment.
I think, if anything, it was so straightforward at that point, in terms of the scoreline.
Yeah.
That the second half was in danger a bit of being a bit of an anticlimactic finish. Obviously, everyone would have been pleased, but it's kind of like it was all sort of tied up so early. But I think the third goal sort of gave us that extra bit of enjoyment out of it, and kind of really got everyone going again for the end of the match.
I'll take it, though, after some of those last-minute ones.
I would have taken a 1-0 win. Yeah. But yeah.
And then Swindon got a consolation, didn't they, which was a remarkably good goal from the fella who'd previously put it 10 yards over.
Miles out, that one.
Yeah. So 3-1. Very nice. Very nice. So we're going to talk about the upcoming fixtures and some other stuff in a minute. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Remember, you can get in touch with us in all the normal ways. We're on Twitter at Big Bang Pod, on Facebook, the Big Bang Theory podcast, and you can email us, bigbangpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to make a prediction about what we'll see on the screen, we'd love to hear that, I think.
Or suggestions, even, we could.
We're not in charge.
No,
sadly.
but we could, we're putting them out there into the, world.
Yeah. Do you remember that dance group Cut Class? Remember them? And they used to do kind of video footage, and then they'd like mix the audio with like dance tracks, and so they were kind of a visual thing to watch. I'd just like to see that, but just Tisdale quotes when Stephen needs to come in. There's all this mad stuff he said put into like a funky beat.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I like the sound of that. Yeah.
Something to think about, Scott Palfrey.
Will it be? Yeah. I mean, how is it likely that the screen's going to be used for trolling? We were
doing it a bit last night. We did it a bit last night, didn't we? Did you see this on Twitter?
I did see that. That was good. Yeah.
Some guy was bad-mouthing Grounds.
Don't come for Grounds, because he'll prove you wrong.
Yeah, he will.
Lord Grounds. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see on there.
I'd like to see when he retires.
At half time, you could stick sort of like 15 minutes of a film on.
Yeah, so we'd watch over the course of a season.
Yeah.
We could watch all of Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, well, you could probably get through more than that, 15 minutes at a time. How long's a film? Gone with the Wind's probably only about an hour and a half because it's old.
No, it's really long, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Also with terrible racial connotations, I believe.
Let's not watch that one. Let's watch something else.
Let's watch...
what's the best film in the world? Citizen Kane, that's what they say, isn't it? I've never seen it.
I was going to say Hot Fuzz.
Stick Hot Fuzz on in parts. There you go.
Do you know, when I was looking at Johnny Williams, all I could think of was Matey in Hot Fuzz saying, "A great big bushy beard." Made me think of that.
Yeah, so that's
Hot Fuzz
an idea,
on
isn't
in
it?
parts.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Hot Fuzz. That's just the first one. That's just, it could be anything.
I'd like to see that.
I think that would be really good to do that.
I'd agree. It probably won't happen, but let's see. So on Saturday,
Start
Salford
selling
City.
popcorn at the,
I just like to see pictures of all the class of '92 up there who haven't turned up now that their season's gone to pot again.
Yeah.
They're only there when they're winning.
Where are you, Nicky Butt?
Where are you, Gary Neville? Oh yeah, that's right. You're crying about your other football team. Get lost.
Yeah.
Sell up. Clear off.
Yep.
They've always got no interest anymore.
And why have they made their club crest just a picture of Grecian the Lion's face as well?
I know.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
So they're coming down next.
Yeah. So they're having an average season.
Yeah, they're still in it, aren't they?
Outside chance to the playoffs.
But
who hadn't got outside chance to play,
well,
to be honest.
Quite, yeah. We beat them 2-1 up at their gaff early in the season. You might remember it was that goal. Before Jake Caprice had ever scored a goal,
Yes.
he thumped one off the post. It hit the keeper on the back of the head and went in. in about the 95th minute.
That's awful.
They've
Poor
never
keeper.
beaten us, Salford. We've only played them about 4 times.
Yeah.
And let's hopefully that will continue on Saturday.
So they're currently in 11th.
Yep.
They drew with Forest Green on Saturday. They managed to beat Swindon. They managed to draw with Sutton. They lost to Northampton, but they managed to beat,
So some good results
Port
in there.
Vale. Yeah.
And it's not going to be a pushover.
No.
But I'd like to take, think that we can take kind of like a good amount from that game last night against Swindon and bring that into Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, I think the
Definitely.
people, I'm including me, were thinking 7 points would be so good from these 3 games. Well, obviously, we're already three up.
Yep.
So, that gives us some wiggle room. But I think in this form, with a full St James Park, it's not like Salford are bringing many.
No, they won't, will they? I mean, they haven't got many to bring.
They haven't got many to bring. And it's, not a short distance.
No.
And there's lots of games at the minute. I'd be surprised if they bring 250.
Yeah,
Actually, I'd be amazed if they bring 250. We should be thinking this is ours to win, Nombe came off with 20 minutes to go last night.
Yeah.
Hartridge only played a half.
Yeah, we don't know the state of what the centre-back situation yet. We don't know if Diabate will be... Well, we assume he's not back yet. We don't know if Grounds will be fit to play. I mean, he's not someone who's going to be able to do 2 games a week for us.
No.
Week in, week
so
out
they
anyway.
might just think...
But very encouraging to see Alex Hartridge come in and play like that. And, the
so
Sorbet
good.
Maldini. So,
Is that what they're calling him?
yeah, everyone's calling him that.
Good. And then, of course, Caprice had the night off.
Yeah.
And he's one of our main attacking threats often. So I think...
I got to say, I think I prefer... And Jake Priest has had a great season, and I think he's a good player. I prefer one having the left back, left-footed player on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Although I appreciate there's an argument for the cut in and that guy. I just think on balance, Jack Sparks' kind of end product is a little bit more effective.
That's probably true. But I also think Jake Caprice causes some chaos.
Yeah.
When he
Although
gets a bit-
Jack Sparks is not bad at like beating a man at the
No.
touchline. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, not at all. Caprice has got some pace, which Sparks hasn't got.
yeah.
I mean, I think probably game by game.
I think it's nice to be able to have both options
Absolutely.
for sure. You
Yeah.
know, like, but yeah. So, yeah, another 3 points, please, boys.
And then, it's thick and fast, isn't it? Tuesday, Crawley Town.
Yeah.
Crawley.
Another home game. So these 3 home games
Three
obviously
home
in a row
games.
now, including last night.
Yeah. So Crawley currently sit in 13th. They're actually only 3 points behind Salford. They played a game less. I'll do the league table in a minute, Dan.
It's not like they've got nothing to play for, is
No,
it? I
no,
mean, like,
it's not.
Yems will be back.
They played last night and they lost to Bristol Rovers. They drew with Scunthorpe on Saturday, which is going to hurt because Scunthorpe are not good. And they drew with Oldham the week before, but they did manage to beat Forest Green.
Yeah.
But then who hasn't? Because they lost to Hartlepool the week before that. So he's up and down, which is reflected in their table position. John Yems, Tom Nichols. That's a game we should be winning at home, Crawley.
This game we will be winning at home.
So can I give you the league table, Dan? You interested in that?
Give us a quick one, yeah.
Forest Green top, 68 points, played 34. Northampton second, played 35, 60 points. Exeter City third, played 33, 57 points. Sutton are right behind us, but they played a game more, same points. Newport, 1 point less, 56. They played 2 games more than us. Then, these are probably the other promotion candidate, is Mansfield in 6th. They've only played 32. That's 1 less than us. And they're on 56 points, just 1 point behind us. Tranmere on the same amount of points, but they've played 35, as have Swindon, who are a point behind them outside of the playoffs.
I
Very
believe
tight.
this weekend is Tranmere against Forest Green as well, isn't it? So,
All sorts happening
yeah.
this weekend. So that will, shake things up some more. It's tight.
oh, we're getting there, isn't it?
Isn't it?
We've got 13 games left.
So it's Friday night, Tranmere Mansfield. Again, that's a weird Friday. And then
Yeah.
Forest Green play Bradford.
No, so that's because it's like Good Friday or something, isn't it?
No, it's this Friday. Tranmere Mansfield.
Oh, sorry, no, we've got a one coming up on Good Friday, haven't we?
We
That's
have,
what I'm thinking
that's
of,
right, yeah. And then I guess the other one that might, I don't know, Forest Green Bradford. Obviously, Forest Green can't buy a win at the minute. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, but it looks very nice. It's mad how quickly it switches round, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we just need to kick on a bit now on these like winnable games. I'm doing the air quotes at you.
Yeah. We've got a friend of ours getting married on the day of the last game of the season, haven't we? And I'm going to use this opportunity to break it to him that if that game's important, then I'm not going to be at his wedding.
We'll be late for his wedding.
Yeah, maybe very late.
It's in London. That's the thing you don't know, listeners. So we've got to work out a strategy. It's problematic.
It is.
Anyway, you've all been through these dilemmas as well, listeners, of course. We all have things that are unmissable and, you know, the other things that happen on the days that Exeter City are playing. So, yeah, that's
What's
where
more
we are at the minute.
important, love for your football team or love between one of your friends and the person they want to marry?
Very difficult question.
One of life's unanswerable questions.
One of life's unanswerable.
Oft asked, rarely answered.
If only they could get married on the pitch before the game, that would solve everyone's problems.
Or maybe if there's an option for this, could we possibly get it on Zoom on the big screen?
Finally the big screen pays off.
So we can kind of, I mean, it will just be for you and I and a couple other people, but everyone else can enjoy a nice wedding as well if they want. You know.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to see it, don't look. You know.
Just go and queue up for a pasty.
Yeah,
At the shortest queue.
Watch the match.
Oh yeah, watch the match. Well, we'll see. So that's where Exeter City are at the minute, and that's where we are, listeners. Thanks for listening to our tale of woe.
Tale of woe. Oh yeah. Well, not necessarily. I'm hoping it's going to be wrapped up by then. Exeter City already declared champions of League Two. Could well happen. We've got Northampton away on the second last game of the season.
Yeah, I'm working that day. I'm gutted.
Ooh.
Yeah. Has there ever been a tale of such woe as Exeter City and Barrow? That's the week before. That's a bit of Shakespeare for you, listeners.
You should have done it last week.
No, I've blown it. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind, eh?
Thanks for listening. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.